What's up, guys? So last week we laid the groundwork for the insane challenge of making my C6 Z06 hit 700 wheel horsepower NA. So obviously this project here is a marathon. It is not a sprint. So right now we're waiting on parts. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I'll put it in the link in the description, and I will try to hopefully put it on the screen somewhere. I am new to this YouTube thing, so I'm trying to figure it out. Bear with me. So I do have another pony in the stable that needs some attention, and that is my 04 Mustang GT. It's a turbo car, and so it has been sitting for quite a while. We finally got it started up, and now it has a coolant leak. So let's get into it and get this thing fixed so we can run it. Now, I want to give you a brief background on this Mustang. This is not any ordinary Mustang, at least not in my opinion. So as far as I know, this car is the record holder for 2-valve stock bottom end GT horsepower numbers, and that is, it made 640 wheel. I don't know for sure. I know it held the record for many years. I hadn't found anything higher than that. I do have some old dyno videos of that number, and I'll throw up a dyno sheet. It is not the prettiest dyno sheet in the world, but it still made it. And actually, if you notice where the peak is, it would have made even more if it had held the boost peak into the peak power range. But it was really impressive. The car ran really well. It's got almost 100,000 miles on it. So these cars are a lot stouter than people give them credit for. And that was on pump 93. Okay, so first things first, we have got to get that coolant tube onto the car. So it's a small project, but it's essential. If your car doesn't run cool, you are in for a world of hurt. Head gasket problems, detonation, and with a turbo car like this, I do not need any detonation because the motor would probably grenade. Okay, I ran it relatively safe because I did tune this car myself, by the way, on pump 93. I kept everything relatively safe because I didn't really want to push the limits of it to the, well, I say that and I really did push the limits of it because everybody else was hitting 450 and they were scared to death. But I didn't want to push the limits as far as the tuning was concerned. So now it's on E85. I ran out of fuel, so that'll be another project, but I am trying to fund all these, and that is going to be very difficult. So I think maybe we'll kind of focus on one project at a time and try to get this one done, and then while that one's being done, this one will be up and running, and just kind of do some maintenance stuff on it, and then hopefully turn the power way up on this turbo Mustang and see what this thing really can do with a stock bottom end. You know, we made 640 before. Let me know what you guys think it's capable of. Can it go higher than that? And how much before, you know, I don't want to even talk about it grenading because I don't want it to grenade. I'm not going to push anything like that. We're going to run hopefully similar boost levels, around 14.5 pounds of boost. We know it handled it before, and just see what happens. All right, it's time to get dirty. There we go. Before we get started, I'm sure some of you are dying to know what this shirt says. So it says, I love one woman and several cars. My wife just got this for me and I love it. It is so true. And so I am historically been like a Ford guy, but mainly like Mustangs and Lightnings. And you know, you can see the Cobra back there and the GT there. But I had always had the C6 Z06 as my dream car. And I finally, thank God, was able to get one. Also thanks to my wife. And I love it. And now I am all in on the C6 Z06s. I love the LS platform, but I still love the Mustangs, right? I love the Mustangs still too. So hopefully my channel can be one where we bring the Ford guys and the Chevy guys together to hug it out, right? And so let's see if we can just spread the love, right? And to appreciate both of these cars, because I'm able to do it, but I own both. So, and I understand if you're in your hard set in your camp, I used to be the exact same way, but now owning this car has really kind of changed me to actually experience it. So But with this channel, that's kind of what I want to do with it, is focus on, you know, the cars, right? And the build process of them, whether it be the Corvettes or the Mustangs, it doesn't matter, right? But that's what I want to do. And before I forget, if you haven't hit the subscribe button and the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Small channels like mine, it makes a massive difference. And you know, that's just kind of how the systems and the algorithms work. The more you comment, so if you can comment something, please comment. If you hit the like, all that stuff, it's super simple to do. And I know you hear people all the time saying it, but it makes a big difference. And I really appreciate it. The other thing you do, and I know it's a lot to ask for your time, is to watch the video all the way through. And if I can make any improvements to this, please let me know, because I am learning this and we're gonna do this together. If you wanna see different paces of content, or if I'm rambling too much, please put in the comments. So I'm trying to learn this to make this as entertaining as possible for everybody, while still doing what I love and making these projects come to pass, right? So let's get into this one now. All right, time to get out the big guns. This will work. Be something coming out by now. Oh, here comes something. Oh, gross. That's nasty. Alright, let me just let it drain like that for a minute. That does not look good. Some old coolant there. I don't think I can let it go that far down. It'll make a mess. Why do they have to make drain valves so small? Do you think the engineers just sit around and say, I wonder how we could tick off the people the most? What little things can we do to drive them crazy? Let's make the drain valve super tiny so that it takes forever to drain. That's a great idea. Thanks, Ford engineers. So I've been sitting here for a while, looking at the back of the Corvette. It makes me start to think we should change the lights out? LEDs? Maybe LEDs all the way around. Could be interesting. So I've been sitting under here pondering life's choices, and just noticed my exhaust is a little bit out of whack. It's not quite even. I'm gonna have to get that fixed. You ever see the people walking around carrying stuff on the top of their head? I have a whole new level of respect for them right now. So after torturing myself for quite a while, I finally decided to lower the car a little bit and set the pan on the ground. So let's see how long this takes. So that's all the coolant that came out of the car. That is not good. So I ran the car like that, and I thought the coolant was just kind of low. I didn't know it was almost empty, like completely empty. That is not good. I really hope we didn't damage anything. So we're gonna find out when we fire it up, and hopefully nothing went wrong, like no head gasket, nothing like that, because I did run it and the temperature was all acting weird, and I thought, I was like, that's strange, maybe it's getting a little low on coolant. And yeah, it was really, I don't even know where it went. I never saw it evaporate. Well, I guess how would you see it evaporate? That was dumb. So no, I never see it like pour on the ground is what I was meaning. I never seen it like spilling anywhere, except at the very end it was just a little bit. So I don't know where all the coolant went. It's just like gone. So it wasn't in the oil either, if you're thinking of that, because we did an oil change video on this car and the oil looked great. So there was no coolant in the oil, at least not yet. So the car just sat there for a few years, and now the coolant's just gone. So maybe it just slowly dripped out and I didn't see it, I don't know. But okay, let's keep working. Task complete. So I did wind up having to cut it out there. As you can see, there's another piece over there. But what's really interesting is I did find this. This is an old just copper fitting. I guess that's all I had back then, so I don't remember doing this. But I think this was the source of a leak, but I mean, it worked for a really long time. So I did see a little piece that looked like it was like a gap that was leaking. So I think that was the issue that we had, but we got it replaced, as hopefully you can see right there. So it is slightly pinched at the top because I had a barb fitting. It was straight, it wasn't 90, but I think it's gonna be okay. So let's see if it works. So slight issue here, we got a little coolant coming out, and I'm thinking maybe a connection's loose or there was some other thing that was broken. Well, what it turns out is this little tube here from the top of the radiator, I think it's supposed to go up to here, and there's no tube there, and I don't really remember ever having a tube there. So I need to go make it look at some old pictures or something and see if maybe I removed it for some reason. It used to have it. Otherwise, I think what's happened is it's been pushing cooling out over time, and I didn't even realize it. I don't know what I was thinking back then, but let's go find a tube and get this fixed. I found some hose that'll get me by. It is the vinyl tubing right there. It is not rated for the heat that is in the engine bay, but that's okay. It's just temporary solution. I will wind up having to order some new tubing or get it at the auto parts or something like that. That's the only thing I could find, but at least it'll let me start it up, test it out for leaks, and make sure it's gonna work, and at least move the car off of this so we can get the Z06 back on the lift. So let's get it fired up, see what happens. I don't want to fumigate myself in here. It'd be a bad day. Ah, where's the button? There it is. Okay, got it. All right, let's fire this bad boy up. Getting in here while holding the camera is not the easiest thing in the world. It needs a little bit of clean out in here, but. All right, here we go. It's one of those moments where you go to start the car and then you want to make sure everything is ready to go. So I'm having one of those right now. Let me check the oil just in case, because the worst thing that you could possibly do is start with no oil. I know we changed the oil. I'm pretty sure everything was ready to go, but it's always a good idea to check if you're not 100%. Let's go check it out. We are good. It's at the low end, but it's still just fine. All right, I think we'll make it. All right, here we go. Still the same the 3 or 4 year old E85 in the tank. So let's see how long it takes to fire up here. Well, there it goes. Come on. Wants to. There we go. Oh, yes. Get it. Now let's go check for leaks. Okay, so no leaks. Everything is looking good so far. I'm back the car up just a hair, just to get like the exhaust to where it's going out of the shop instead of sitting in the shop. I don't want to take any chances. It happened to my brother-in-law once where he was in a shop, in a closed shop with some sort of engine running, and he like barely made it out of there. So I don't want to take any chances of that at all. Safety first. So coolants are stabilized, y'all, and we are back in action. So we're about 190 degrees right now. Fans coming on and off. Everything looks fantastic. I think we are back good to go with this car again. So now we'll move it back to where its spot is over there, somewhere near the Cobra for now, and then we're gonna keep resuming on the Z06. So fun times ahead. One of the things I was thinking we could do for this Mustang is develop an anti-lag system for it, because the turbos are a little bit big for the engine and it takes a little bit to spool up. So I have some ideas floating around in my head in order to make that work, but we'll need a standalone computer in order to do that. And then, but it's not gonna be like a normal, like a two-step anti-lag or like the typical rolling anti-lag that you see. It's a little bit different. However, I still need to do a little bit more research on it before I spill the beans on what's in my head, what I'm thinking, but I think you guys are gonna like it. So over the next probably few months, I'll be starting to work on that, especially after we get done with the Z06. Trying to maybe spend a little bit more time in this car and see if we can get that system working. If it works as I think it's gonna work, it's gonna make an enormous improvement in the response time of the turbos and pretty much eliminate turbo lag altogether. So we'll see what happens. So stay tuned to that. I really want to go down this path and kind of explore this and make this work. So I think it should be interesting. All right, so I got the car back in its spot. I left the doors open as well because I want to air out in here a little bit. I can smell it. Look, I love the smell of 85 as much as the next guy, but I don't want any issues or any problems with my breathing or anything like that. It can kind of get, see, I can't even speak. Look, it's already happening. It can get a little bit dangerous. So I'm gonna stop it right there. So thanks guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your support. If you've already clicked that subscribe button, thank you. If you haven't, please do so now. Hit the like, throw in some comments, all that stuff, like I said earlier, helps a lot. So next, maybe, I can't guarantee it's gonna be next week. I try to get a video out every week, but life right now is pretty crazy, so maybe it's every 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm trying my best. I do work full time, and I do these like on the weekends or as I have some time. So at least we got the Mustang back up today, so we're gonna continue on working with the Z06. Hopefully we'll get the heads back soon and we can get this project and hit our magic numbers and then continue on to the next thing, right? So it's gonna be fun. So thanks again for tuning in, and as always, keep it under 100. Oh God.